Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be reacting to the report from Ben Standig that the Washington Commanders and Eric Bieniemy have mutual interest in him being the Commanders' new OC. I'll also talk about one of the other candidates the Washington Commanders had that got hired by the Tennessee Titans, not for an OC job though. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content, also with that like button and the notification bell as well. Alright, so I'll start with the Eric Bieniemy news, and this is from Ben Standig from The Athletic. Might leave the link in the description, but the link is right here on this tweet if you guys want to go to it. Shout out Strictly Speaking for this snapshot of the story. So he says the team, talking about the Commanders, hopes to interview Chiefs coordinator Eric Bieniemy, and mutual interest exists. Multiple people with direct knowledge of the situation told The Athletic. With Kansas City in Sunday's Super Bowl, formal meetings could or would not occur until the following week at the earliest. Bieniemy's intrigue extends beyond Washington, with a list of suitors that includes the Ravens and the Titans. Well, now the Titans hired an offensive coordinator, so that is one team that's off the list. So it's really between the Commanders, the Ravens, and the Chiefs, because of course they could always just bring him back. Some in Mobile viewed the longtime assistant of head coach Mobile, Alabama. Viewed the longtime assistant of head coach Andy Reid as the favorite for the Commanders' opening. That's despite no consensus over whether Bieniemy would provide the needed impact for an offense that ranked 24th in scoring with 18.9 points per game in 2022. And then he says the opportunity to call plays, something Bieniemy doesn't handle full-time with the Chiefs, would be a positive for a perpetual head coaching candidate who has yet to land that big job. An endorsement from Reid, one of Rivera's football mentors, would carry weight in Washington. Head coach Ron Rivera's future with the Commanders is another factor for any candidate, as owner Dan Snyder might soon sell the franchise he's owned since 1999. So some really good news there if you are a fan that does want the Commanders to hire Eric Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator. A lot of good news. Some people think he's a favorite for the job, and then we also heard that multiple people with direct knowledge of the situation believe there's mutual interest between Eric Bieniemy and Washington. So that right there is very, very good news in terms of the chances Eric Bieniemy is the OC here. Before, I was thinking maybe like 30-ish%. Now I'm thinking close to 50% chance that he becomes the OC for the Commanders. I strongly believe he is the number one candidate for the Washington Commanders, and if he wants to be the OC here, he will be. Like, there's other candidates like Pat Shurmur or even Ken Zampese. Like, they definitely want to be an OC here, but they're not the number one options. Like Pat Shurmur, he only had one interview, and it was here. No other interviews, no other teams interviewed him. There were some other guys on our list that got interviewed by other teams, like Thomas Brown, maybe Eric Studesville, and of course Eric Bieniemy's been interviewed by other teams as well. I believe Anthony Lynn, Eric Bieniemy, and Pat Shurmur are the top three in no order, but I think Eric Bieniemy's number one, and then number two and number three, who knows? I do think Ron Rivera likes Anthony Lynn, and then Pat Shurmur as well. They both have connections. Ron Rivera has deep connections and deep ties with Pat Shurmur, so that's one that I definitely could see him going towards that one. But that's why they can wait. They can wait for Eric Bieniemy because Anthony Lynn, I believe he doesn't have any other OC interviews, and then Pat Shurmur definitely doesn't. So if Pat Shurmur's interested in the job, he's gonna wait until they finish interviewing Eric Bieniemy. It's not like he has other offers that he's like, you know what, this is taking too long, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this job instead of waiting for you to decide who the OC is. No, he's gonna wait until we're done. So at the very least, we'll get Pat Shurmur, maybe Anthony Lynn, maybe. But I'm hoping, and it's trending more towards Eric Bieniemy, and I'm hoping it is Eric Bieniemy. This is what he said yesterday. I've not taken any interviews for any offensive coordinator positions. I've only taken one interview for a head coaching position. Right now, I've interviewed with the Indianapolis Colts. I thought it went great. We'll see where that goes. Now, as far as the offensive coordinator stuff, right now, I am where my feet are, and right now, I'm focused on helping us to win this game this weekend. So, I mean, there's one quote that Ron Rivera says all the time, and a lot of coaches say that, but just interesting there for sure. And he's right about the interview with the Colts. We'll see if he's able to get that job. Probably not though. I think it's between like Saturday and I forgot who else. Maybe Wink Martindale. There's one other as well, but maybe he gets the job there. And if he gets a job there, then I mean we don't have a chance obviously because he's gonna take any OC or any head coaching job over an OC job with us or the Ravens or sticking with the Chiefs. So if he gets that job, of course, then it eliminates Eric Bieniemy in Washington, and it's either going to be like Pat Shurmur or maybe Anthony Lynn. That's probably where it would go, but probably trending more towards Pat Shurmur if that is the case. But I'm hoping, if he gets that job, that's fine. But for selfish reasons, I'm hoping we are the ones who end up getting him as our OC. That's just my take. But I know some people feel, some people don't want Eric Bieniemy. Some people do not want Eric Bieniemy, and I understand that. But for me, he's the number one candidate by far. He's done a really, really good job with the Chiefs over the last 5 years as their offensive coordinator. Really good job. They've been like a top 3, top 5 offense every single year. And no, he doesn't fully call plays. He's not calling every single play, but he does call some plays, and he obviously helps game plan and everything like that. So he's not going to be one of those guys where it's like, oh, he's never called plays. He calls some plays, but of course, when you're under Andy Reid, he's the one who calls the majority of the plays. But I think he would be fine in terms of being able to call plays, and he's been in this league for a really long time. He played as well. I'm not sure. I think he played in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, with the Eagles, but so he definitely has experience, not lacking that for sure. And then the other news that I wanted to talk about, the Titans hired Tim Kelly as their new offensive coordinator. So that eliminates one team from contention for Eric Bieniemy, and Charles London is their new pass game coordinator and QB's coach. So the Commanders interviewed Charles London as a potential OC, and it really no one really thought there was ever a chance he was going to be the OC, but just a candidate. But that officially rules out one of those candidates because he will be with the Tennessee Titans, and Chris Harris, former Washington Commanders DB coach, will be the Titans defensive pass game coordinator and cornerbacks coach. So that officially, it's official that he's moving on from the Commanders, but we've pretty much known that for a couple weeks now. So that is kind of it for the news in today's video. Nothing crazy. We'll see what video I come out with tomorrow. We'll have probably a mock draft sometime this week and free agency videos as well. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.